strictly for educational purposes only. Now, tonight I present to you another never-seen-before world-exclusive true crime interrogation video. I'm not going to give you any spoilers on this video. You're just going to have to pay close attention. There's not going to be any analysis throughout, because that's up to you, the viewer, to use your brain and analyze what you're seeing and hearing in this video. This video is for educated folks, and I know you're educated, so I hope you enjoy it. Anyways, let's jump right into this video and see what the suspect has to say for themselves.
Neighbors tell me it's hard to believe that family members are the ones arrested in connection to Jamel Kelly's murder. 6 months after disappearing, the body of 24-year-old Jamel Kelly was found behind this abandoned home, where neighbors say he was buried in this shallow grave. Investigators say Kelly's mother and girlfriend reported him missing on March 6th. Police believe Kelly's former stepfather, Jared Studemeyer, put Kelly's body in the trunk of his car and dumped it before the car was burned. In May, police say Jared Studemeyer, Kelly's mother, Stacy Studemeyer, and Jared Studemeyer's girlfriend, Shakira Atwater, were all charged in connection to Kelly's murder.
As a mother, I'm like, what could your child do so bad that, you would kill him? And then just to dump him somewhere like he's nothing.
Hello, Mrs. Studemeyer.
Hello.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey.
Detective Huxley, do you remember me? Okay. I don't want to squeeze you in down there, but I want to try to create just a little bit of room for myself, if you don't mind. Yep. Yeah, I can barely squeeze in here. It's pretty tight. I just want to squeeze it.
Like I said, we wanted just kind of catch up where we were last night. I know you said you had a lead to pick, everything was fine with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just to kind of do where we are right now, just like we did yesterday. We just got to go through these forms, okay?
Okay. My question is did y'all have found Jamel?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get into all that, okay?
There's information that, like I said, we wanted to talk to you yesterday, but you had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, but we can't discuss these things. This is just normal protocol. We can't discuss those without actually going through these steps with you. Do you understand? So I get the top one, police rate, this is the police station. Today's now the 23rd. And it's 1802, 602. You have the following rights under the United States Constitution. You do not have to make a statement or say anything. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before you make a statement or before any questions are asked of you, and have a lawyer with you during a question. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you can afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish. Understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do answer questions, you have the right to stop and answer questions at any time. You can consult with a lawyer. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you understand it, I've explained this to you just on that line that we spoke about yesterday. So when we left off yesterday, do you know exactly where we left off at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just asking. I know you had to leave abruptly. Okay. So, like we spoke about yesterday, huh? Okay. Like we spoke about yesterday, we work in the homicide unit, so this got transferred to us from missing persons. So initially, you reported him as missing persons on the 10th, correct? Okay. He went missing on the 6th.
The 7th.
The
7th.
Was it the 7th or 6th? I believe it was the 6th. I guess it was close to the nighttime, so maybe in between those times of like midnight going into the 7th. Okay. So what other conversations have you had with Detective Tomberg reference to what has been disclosed about your son?
I haven't talked to him since I told you he called me and left me a message yesterday, but I didn't call him because y'all said it was transferred to y'all. So
okay. Prior to that, you had no contact with him whatsoever.
I called him a couple of times, but I guess he's, I don't know if he's busy or what, but he don't return his call. He finally returned my call yesterday after I called him a couple of times prior.
Have you ever spoken with him at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
At my home.
Huh?
At my home.
But what about on the phone? You never had any?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him on the phone.
Okay, and what was said there? Did he tell you anything additional?
No. Nope. No, nothing additional. This was like a while ago this is when they took the car. I called him about the car.
Oh, the
and I was trying to
BMW.
figure out, yeah,
Okay.
and I was trying to figure out like why they took it.
Sure.
But then he was like, he told me he was gonna check on it for me,
Mhm.
and then he would get back with me. He
Okay.
never got back with me, so I called him, like I said, a few times, and no return call until yesterday.
Okay. What I mean, so why do you think we're now getting? I guess why do you think? What do you think happened to Jamel?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. I really don't know what happened.
I mean, this is obviously a stressful situation for you. This is your son who's got missing, and that's why, like I said, me and Detective Hopefully, we were trying to find the answers so that we can give. You're the person that we want to talk to because you're his mother. Ultimately, you have the most to gain from getting your son back. Okay.
Right, but then you have all these people that's on Facebook that I'm sure y'all talk to, like Malcolm Mom and all of these people that's just posting stuff on Facebook.
Well, I mean,
that wasn't even around.
I mean, and sure, and that's why that's why I want to talk. That's why I asked you to come in here, okay, to talk to you and face to face. You gotta understand, people on Facebook are gonna say what they're gonna say. We as police, we can't go by what is said on Facebook. Okay, I mean, it's just people have opinions. It's not as good as me as a face-to-face conversation as to what we're doing here. Does that make sense? And really, the person that we should start talking with about this is with you, because Jamel lived with you, and you birthed him. I mean, you know him better than anyone else. Like I said, he's not married, right? So, like I said, my wife can probably know me better than most people outside of my mother. Okay, there's probably the same thing for Detective Hopefully. That's just basic human dynamics. Okay, so we want to talk to you to figure out what do you think actually happened to Jamel? Do you think he's still alive? Is there a possibility that he's still alive?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Gerard did anything to hurt him. Basically, like I said, he helped me raise him. Basically, I mean, they had problems going, in our household as far as coming up sometimes. But when Jamel came back to Cincinnati, they was fine. He cut Jamel hair. He just did things, fatherly things like he used to do. So okay. I don't think that if something. I don't know.
And you haven't had any contact with Jamel. Like I said yesterday, you can't get a phone. You can't get any money. You're not getting any money. You're giving him any money like you used to.
No.
Right. He hasn't asked you. He hasn't called you. You haven't heard any voicemails. No. Have you checked like hospitals, like Baker Act? Mental health facilities?
No, I haven't checked them. But when I did Baker Act him, because Jamel father, his biological father was paranoid schizophrenic. Well, it hits you at a certain age. I'm sure you probably know that.
We do, yeah.
So it hits you at a certain age. And his father was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, his biological father, and was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic at the age of like 22 or 23 or something. So the way Jamel acts, he started fighting when he was in the 3rd grade.
Sure.
So just fighting everybody. I mean, even when he came home, he'd tell me stories like, "Oh, Mama, I was at the gas station and this guy did this, and then I stepped to him." Just different things that he'd tell me. And so something just said, kind of see if there's a problem with him or whatever. So after he started threatening me and saying, threatening me, because Jamel never threatened me, right? So when he started threatening me and saying what he gonna do and all of this stuff, then I'm like, well, maybe there's something wrong. Like I said, his biological father committed suicide in like 2006 or 2008 or something like that. Okay. Jamel went down there to stay with his.
You guys were separated at that point?
Who?
You and his father.
Yeah. We had been separated a long time ago, and then one day I just happened to see him, and he was acting.
You're saying Jamel now?
No, his father. Yeah. Okay. One day I happened to see him and he was acting crazy. Jamel was a little kid then. And so anyways, when Jamel, like I said, he'd been fighting like all of these years he had been fighting. So when he finally got into adulthood, we talked about him going to Ohio, being with his dad's people or whatever, which because he was fighting here, he was always getting Jamel. I couldn't send him to the mall.
Get him out of his element.
Right. Because if I send him to the mall to go get me something, he have to leave the mall because he's fixing to get into it with somebody. And it's just that simple for him to get into it with somebody. So when the opportunity came to him to go to Ohio, that was a good idea. He did. But guess what? He had to come back home because he was getting into it with his uncles and his grandmother and all of these people. That's why I went and gave him the car, the Toyota. I gave him that car because they took the car from him, and he was calling me, "Mama, I don't have," every time he needs something, and I'm there because I'm the mom. I'm always gonna be there for him regardless.
Yeah.
And so I drove to Atlanta, gave him my car. I got on got a rental car, drove back to Jacksonville. Just things like that I do. He said, "Mama, his uncle had a cell phone. Jamel was on a cell phone plan. Just things like that. They won't pay the bill for him. He got to figure out how he gonna pay it himself." But he called his mama, asked his mama, "Mama, can you wire me?" I mean, I did all of these things for this boy. And then when he came home and he just started threatening me, and I'm like, okay, well, so I figured something was wrong. So I did Baker Act him. And they told me that I didn't have to do anything. They said if the detectives or police officer find him, they will get him and they will take him to a mental health facility.
So you filed for the Baker Act.
And they said I didn't have to do anything except for when they find him, they'll get him, take him to a mental facility, and then they'll check to see if everything is okay with him.
When was that filed?
That was around the same
Before
time.
or after this
When you went missing?
It might have been the same day. The same day.
the same
It was
day?
the same day. Yeah.
So is it before when you said, because this happened late at night, so was it earlier that day?
That morning.
So it was the following morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just went down just to get a Baker Act?
No, I did a restraining order because then he started talking about killing and all of the stuff like that. So then I did a restraining order also.
Did you call the police that night?
Mhm.
Okay. And what was that argument about?
He came home. Because like I said, Jamel brought a girl home. I woke up one morning in a suitcase in my thing. He asked me if he could cut something out. I'm telling him, no, I don't let y'all. Y'all got little brothers that's looking up to y'all.
Sure.
So
yeah.
anyway, so he argued me back and forth about that. I woke up the next morning, it's a suitcase in my front room. So I said, okay. He was like, we can leave if you wanna, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm not gonna put the girl out because she from freaking Ohio. Like, no. So anyways, so they live in there or whatever. And then, I don't know what you asked me. Oh, the police.
I guess, why you called the police that night, yeah.
So he was coming home, like he was doing, I think he was thinking Miss Gerard was telling me how to run my home because Jamel started.
What Jamel was thinking that?
He was thinking that because he was saying stuff to make me think that I'm just like, nobody ain't running my house for me. This is me. So like I said, he started, I get in the car, he opened up the car door. It smelled like weed. He riding around doing stuff. He went up to the park to where Gerard and coach at and started arguing, started fussing, like fighting words and stuff like that. So then he came home.
Who was he arguing and fussing with up there?
With Gerard.
Just Gerard?
From what I understand, because he sent me a text message saying, oh yeah, I went to the park and I was gonna fight your dude and this and that. And he's not my dude. But anyways, so he telling me this, that he gonna do this. And I was like, Jamel, you doing it. You ride around in a car that is in my name, got drugs in the car.
I can see why that made you upset.
Damaging people's, going up there trying to fight people, this and that. So I said I was gonna do this for you. I'm not gonna do this no more.
Did Gerard call the police when his car got damaged?
I don't think so.
How bad was it damaged? Was it just like a?
No, the windshield wiper was completely busted out.
The windshield?
Yeah, the windshield wiper was completely busted out.
Did you say wiper or the windshield?
The whole
glass.
whole
windshield.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was the day before. This was the day before that. This was the day before the windshield got busted. Jamel was up there trying to fight
at the ballpark.
Ballpark.
So he went there 2 days in a row?
Yeah, he went up there the first day and he was trying to fight them at the ballpark. Then he came home and started saying, oh, I'm gonna have somebody come over and bust all your car windows out, this and that. All of this stuff he was saying to me. And I'm like, so then the next day he was like, oh, and you're going to be embarrassed when you go to the park because they're going to say, oh, your son is acting like this and acting like that. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to be embarrassed because
you go to the park often?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not no more.
Okay.
I don't go up there because my son's 12 now, so this is probably his last season playing
park. Is it just like the
baseball?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I guess is 12 the cutoff?
12, yeah.
And then they start, I guess,
it's like 4 to 12, yeah.
Okay.
And so, and this is Gerard's organization. Like he is the director of this whole thing.
Of the baseball thing?
Yep. So, and so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be embarrassed, So anyway, so the next day he came. he can't, no. So I called him in my room. I sat him down and I said, Jamel, I said, I want to help you. I want to get you an apartment for you and Michaela to go move it, this and that. I said, but you got to start doing, no, it's not over this and that. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do, just so.
This is just
angry.
between him and Gerard.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? Why is there so much contempt between them?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think, like I said, because I think that he's running my house.
That Gerard's running the house.
But he's not running my house. Like, he have his own house to run.
Has Gerard told you? I mean, does Gerard have discontent
No.
against Jamel?
Like I said, when Jamel first came back home, they was cool talking. Gerard cut Jamel's hair because he cuts hair. So he comes and cuts the boys' hair.
So he does for our living?
No, he drives truck.
Okay.
So he come over there to the house. He cut the kids' hair. He talked to Jamel. He cut Jamel's hair. He said, oh, Jamel, I got some watches. Brought Jamel like 3 or 4 watches, just stuff like a father would do, like I said. But so Gerard never had any hard feelings towards Jamel. Jamel was just a problem. If you interview his brother, his oldest brother, I don't know if y'all did or not, but he will tell you the same story. Anyway, so the next day came, and that's when Jamel, he texted me, and it said, it's real out here. And I can show you the text, but he said, it's real out here in these streets or something, or shit's real.
Do you mind showing me?
These are texts from who?
From Jamel?
Okay. This was the last, actually.
This is the last time you spoke with him?
This is the last text that he sent me.
Okay. This is on. So he damaged Gerard's vehicle, correct?
Yeah, he told me that he stood on the hood of the car.
What car is that?
The Lincoln.
No, is that Gerard's?
Yeah.
So you have a BMW?
I have a BMW, a Mercedes, and a Toyota now.
Okay.
And Gerard has a truck and a Maserati.
And
he don't have the Lincoln because the Lincoln was kind of like, the Lincoln stayed in the shop probably every week or every 2 weeks. It was a raggedy car. And Jamel just stood on it. He was just driving it like to work or whatever. But anyway, Jamel busted the window out of it. And then he sent me a text message. This was the last text. So I can tell you actually what day. This was on the 6th, yeah. So this happened on the 6th. I'm sorry, I thought it was the 7th. So right here. Shit real out here. I know your dude mad. And that's when he came home.
He's talking about Gerard. What time is that, dude?
That was at 9:20 p.m.
Do you know what time Jamel got to the house?
I was working, so it had to be after 10. But and so.
Is that when you start work?
I start work at 10.
At 10? And that's the work you do at the house.
Home.
Okay. And what is that? Is it like online stuff?
Yeah, we sell Venus swimwear.
Oh, like bathing suits and stuff? Okay.
And
Just online?
women's fashion.
You just do it online?
Well, the calls come in.
Oh, you're like a call service. Okay.
Custom service.
But you can do that from the house?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but Venus is off Southside Boulevard, off of Beach Boulevard. Right there, San Marco Beach.
Okay.
Right across from FSCG. That's where they home office is.
Gotcha.
So he sent me this text message that was at like 9:20. And so he and I ignored it. I don't feed into none of that type of stuff anyway. So he came home and he told me and he busted the windows out or whatever. I was standing on the top of the stairs when he came in.
Who was there when he got home?
Just me, my son, me and my 2 sons.
Just you and your 2 boys?
Me, Gerard and
Ronnie. Or Ronnie, is that what you call him? Ronnie?
Geron.
But you call him Ronnie? Okay.
And then when he came in, like I said, I heard him with some commotion or whatever, talking, and then he was talking about busting the windows out and all of that.
He just talking to himself, yelling and screaming?
No, I was saying, I'm sure he knew I was in the house.
You said commotion. Who's he? Is it just commotion that he's causing by himself?
Yeah, because I was saying, when he came in, I went and stood at the top of the stairs, looked down, because I was working. And so then he started talking, and then I went into the room so that I can call my job, tell him that I'm getting ready to get off because, I have a lot of noise going on in my house. So then by the time, so I did hear commotion, but by the time I go out to the window in my bedroom, because my bedroom is across from the office.
Okay.
That's when I looked out and I saw people outside. So then by the time I went downstairs and went out, I saw my Toyota sitting in the driveway, Michaela sitting in the car, and they halfway down the street, the guys, Jamel and the guys. And he looked, I guess he saw me because my porch light was on, and that's when he was like, "Oh, you're gonna die tonight. You know, Mom, you're gonna die too." And this and that.
Who were the guys that were with him? Okay.
And
What was he wearing?
oh, I don't know.
Because you saw him down the
It
road.
was when he came by the house, because I was in the driveway. So when they came by the house in the car, I saw him in the car, but I don't know what he was driving.
So who was in what kind of car were they in?
It was a black car.
Big car, small car?
A small.
Okay. Is that Mario? Was Mario driving?
No.
Who was driving?
I don't know who was driving. Because I just looked in. I think he opened up the back door. So
Okay.
I think he opened up the back door.
How many people were in the car?
Maybe 3.
Okay. How many people did you see down the street with
3.
your son?
Mhm.
You only saw 3.
Mhm.
So you saw your son and 2
No.
people?
No. 4 total.
So 4 total.
Mhm.
Okay, a total of 4 people. Can you describe those people to us?
I can know he's tall
He's
guy,
tall.
but like I said, it was down. It's dark. It was all the way down the street on the opposite side of the street, so I couldn't even see Jamel face. You know what I'm saying? So no. But then they ended up coming across the street over to this side of the street, the left hand side of the street, because it was all over to the right side of the street.
Okay, just so I have a little bit better understanding of when we're talking about side of the street. Are they on the side of the street where your house is, or are they on the opposite side of the street?
Okay, so originally they was on the opposite side of the street from where
Okay.
my house is.
All right.
But it was like further down, like maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4 houses down
Okay.
or whatever. And so I'm trying to think if they came across the street or they went down further. I want to say that they came across the street to the opposite side of the street where my house is.
They would have come back onto
Yeah.
your side.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to say they did. I'm not 100% sure, but
Okay.
that's what I want to say.
All right. And what happened when they came back on that side
That
of the
was
street?
Oh, that was it. Because like I said, I was back and forth in the house,
Okay.
and I was trying to get Michaela to get out of the car because I'm getting ready to get my car towed because my car smell like it's in my name. It smell like weed. So,
But you're doing
By the
this at
time-
11 o'clock at night?
and I did. The police officers was right there.
No, I understand that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I just,
Because of the simple fact that I said I'm gonna go ahead on and get this because he wouldn't give me the keys to the car.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm gonna go ahead on and take the car from him. And I want to do it before he comes back home. So before he come back home, I want the car to be gone. So I took it to Toyota. I had the tow truck driver take it while the police officer was there.
Sure.
When Michaela called the police officer, because I was telling her to get out of the car and come on in the house or whatever. And so she wouldn't get out. She was like, I'm gonna get out when the police come. I said, okay, fine. So the police eventually ended up coming. And the police eventually ended up coming. While they was there, I called the tow truck driver and I told him I wanted to take this car to Toyota, which the police ended up backing his car out
To rekey it?
to rekey it. So I have the rekey right here. Got 1 key,
Okay.
and I went and picked it up. And
Do you still have that car now?
that's the car that I drive.
Oh, that's the one you're driving right
That's
now?
the car that I'm
Camry.
driving. Yep. And
Okay.
so the police was there when I did that. So no, you know. So it wouldn't be no issues as far as the car or whatever. So then the police was talking to him and Michaela. They went out, they walked around the yard, went in the back, did whatever. They ended up coming back out. And he was like, that's when he was telling me about she gonna call her sister or whatever to try to get her. Yeah. Anyway, I told him, I said, well, she don't have to do that. I'll get her.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up doing that.
You got her the ticket you said?
The plane ticket, and then she ended up calling me,
I'm sorry, but I misunderstood. Who walked into the backyard with Michaela?
the police officer.
Oh, okay. In the back of your house?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how far, I don't know exactly where they went, but I know they went
Sure.
back there. And then they ended up
And
coming.
they were looking for Jamel?
I guess it was for Jamel. And then, like I said, the police officer was there. I said, well, are you gonna they said they would take us to the train or
The airport.
airport.
Mhm.
And so they took us to the airport, and then she ended up calling me, and I ended up going back to the airport at like 3-something or 4-something in the morning. I could get my credit card receipt because I ended up having to pay for her bag because she didn't have no money. So I had
So
to
you
give
actually drove,
$25.
there?
Yep, I was trying to do cash out. And I show you that on my phone. Where I was trying to do cash out to her, and then she was like, "Oh, I don't have my card." So I was like, okay. So I was trying to figure out, I called the airport, tried to talk to the supervisor or something. I was trying to do whatever it took for me not to have to go all the way over there.
Sure.
But they couldn't do it. So I ended up driving up there, paying for her things so she could put her bag on the plane.
How old's Michaela?
I think like 18. She like same age as my son now. That
Okay.
baby.
Did anyone go with you to the airport? You were by yourself?
Yep, I drove to the airport. Michaela saw me there, and plus, like I said, I could show where I paid for the bag.
Did Michaela say anything else to you while you guys were at the airport?
She didn't say anything. She went and sat. She was like, "Thank you." She went and sat on the thing, and that was it.
Did Michaela express any concern about what happened to Jamel? The fact that he didn't come back after all this happened?
Not to me. I mean, she made her to the police officer, but she didn't say anything. She didn't too much say anything to me.
Did you have any concern that
I didn't, because
something bad might have happened to you?
because I would have thought, like I said, I was trying to get the car towed because I knew I was like, oh, before he get back, I want, so no, I wouldn't have thought that something that I would never see him again.
Okay. Who had the bat out there that night when all this was going on?
When I saw them down there, like I said, I didn't see anybody with a bat.
Okay. All right. So this is where things get a little inconsistent, I guess you would say. Okay. There were some independent witnesses that were present and saw some things that happened that night. Okay. And obviously we've obtained some information from those people. So it's more than just, people just put stuff on Facebook and things like that. I think Detective Lassard told you earlier, obviously, I'm sure, I can't imagine that the roller coaster of emotions you're probably going through with the fact that you haven't heard from your son in over 2 months now. Okay. And it sounds like you do everything you can to provide a nice, safe environment for your children that are staying at your house. And it's a nice neighborhood you guys live in. But I don't think some of the things just don't quite make sense, okay? Which is what we're trying to utilize you to help us understand, get a better understanding, because obviously we weren't there. Detective Lassard wasn't there, I wasn't there. Heck, that's my understanding. I don't think any law enforcement was there while this was happening, right? Okay. But we're entering into an area that's getting a little slippery, okay? And we want to ensure that this area that we're entering into doesn't have any effect on you or your family, any further effect, because it sounds like you've experienced, a whole lot already with the fact that we can't find Jamel. Nobody knows where Jamel is. Yeah. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that this case got transferred to homicide for a reason. Okay. What does that mean to you when we tell you that his case has been transferred to homicide? What does that mean to you, Mrs. Studemeyer?
It means that I thought maybe y'all found something, not found him.
Okay.
But I guess what he's trying to say, you know what homicide is.
Yeah, that y'all think that something happened to him.
In terms of
as far as like him being harmed.
Or
dead.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's ultimately why we're here, which is why we talked to you yesterday. So this is very serious business. Okay. This isn't news that we want to give to anyone. Okay. And that's what we're trying to figure this out. We don't want to give that news, but we need, in order for us to not do that, we need to get the information correct. And that's why we're talking to you. Does that make sense? Okay. So I think we just need to try to figure out try to dig deep and try to figure out what else happened that night.
There's some things that happen that you're not telling us, okay? And we have proof of those things. Okay? Something very, very bad happened that night.
Something very, very,
very bad happened that night, okay? And you said something earlier.
And I didn't.
You said something earlier about Gerard. You didn't think Gerard meant to hurt him. Okay? You said that very early on.
I didn't say he meant to her. I said I don't think he would ever hurt him.
He would ever hurt him.
Oh, okay.
He would ever hurt him. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Indicating that he would ever do something intentionally.
Right.
Okay? But I think we can sit here and agree that both of those, when I say both, Gerard and Jamel were probably upset with each other over what happened at the park. We've got Jamel going to the park, embarrassing Gerard in front of other people up there at Gerard's own organization, which would make anyone upset. Okay. Do we agree with that? Okay. And then on top of that, or combined with that, we have Jamel intentionally damaging some property of Gerard's, right? So What we don't want to see happen is for you to come in here and provide us with information knowingly that that information is not true and complete and factual to your knowledge, okay? And I can tell you right now that we have information and we have evidence that contradicts what you are telling us. We have witnesses that saw you interact with Gerard at the house while this is going on, okay? I'm telling you this, okay? And I'm telling you that we have evidence to support that. Okay, as part of our investigation, we look at a lot of different things, okay? That communication device you're holding in your hand right there is a valuable tool and source of information. We evaluate and we look at stuff like that when we are doing these investigations. There are some things that are very concerning on there. Okay. So I'm telling you this because what I don't want to see happen, Mrs. Studemeyer, is I don't want to see you go down a path that potentially has consequences for you and your children that are at home. Okay. I understand that you have to do what's in the best interest for you and what's in the best interest for your family. Okay. But you also have to do what's in the best interest for Jamel. Okay. At the end of the day, we want you to have the answers that you need and some resolution to this case. And in order to do that, it's going to take cooperation from everyone. Okay. So it's a matter right now of whether or not your devotion is greater to yourself, Gerard, or your son who's missing.
Or your 2 kids that you have.
That's where we are. Okay. You've got to figure this out. Okay. Because I'm telling you right now, there is video surveillance all over that neighborhood. Okay. There are people in that neighborhood that personally know Gerard. Okay. They saw Gerard there, Ms. Studemeyer. They saw you interact with Gerard. Okay. I'm not going to spoon feed you everything, every bit of evidence we have. Okay. At some point, I expect you to say, you know what? This is a position I didn't expect to be in. Okay. I never expected this to turn out the way it turned out. But unfortunately, what happened. There's nothing that you can do that's going to change it. There's nothing that I can do. There's nothing Gerard can do. Okay. But what we have to do is we have to collectively get together and we have to figure out what is going to be the best possible solution. How are we going to come to a mutual resolution here to fix this or repair this or get it back to where it's manageable by everyone? Does that make sense? Huh? Okay. So there is a reason that the case was transferred to homicide. Okay. I don't know of any other way to tell you this. Okay. Jamel is dead. Okay. He's not coming back. That's not an easy thing to tell a family member or a loved one.
You found him?
We have evidence that we found during our investigation that tells us Jamel is deceased. Okay.
But where is he at?
So that takes things to an entirely different level now. We're no longer talking about a misdemeanor assault or a battery or something like that. Okay.
Where is he at?
That's something that I believe that you and everyone that was there is going to be able to help us with. Okay.
I don't know how.
I mean,
I don't know how I can help you with that.
Stacey, what's about to happen here? This is you're at one of the most important probably decisions of your life about to take place. Like Hope said, you can decide whether your devotion is going to be to you.
How do you know Jamel is dead?
I'm very confident that Jamel is dead. Okay, I just told you, I'm not going to spoon feed you and hand you every piece of evidence that we have. Okay, because at some point, this is a two-way street. And when I say that, this is what I mean. Okay, you and I, have we ever, prior to yesterday, have we ever met before? Okay, so it would be safe to say that we don't know each other, right? We have never had any personal interaction with each other.
Where's Jamel at?
That's what we want to know, Mrs. Studemeyer.
Well, if you know you did, you just tell me where you at.
Well, we believe that.
I believe that the people that were involved in this hold the key to that answer.
You can
And
help
those
us
people,
get
those
that
are the people that are closest to you. Okay. But please, please, please don't allow yourself to get caught up in something that because of something that
know.
someone else did.
But how do I know what happened? How do I know what happened if I was in front of the house with Michaela? Like, how do I know what happened to him?
Ms.
You've
Studemeier,
had some
If they came,
the people involved in this incident
if they
are
came,
very close to you.
okay. So how do they? How? If something happened to him in my neighborhood,
Mhm.
where is he? Because they came and they checked the water,
Okay,
they checked the woods.
let's do this, okay? Let's get back to what I was trying to explain to
You
you.
don't know if he did or not.
I do, okay? How did Gerard leave that night? How did he leave your house? Can you tell me that? What mode of transportation or how did he leave your house that night when this happened?
I don't know.
You do know, okay? You're just trying to protect him.
I'm just fixing to go. You said I could leave at any time.
I think we're beyond that point.
No.
Okay.
We need to get these details ironed out. How did he leave that night?
Okay.
You need to do this for Jamel, okay? Despite your differences, you said earlier, you're his mother. You're always going to be his mother. You're always going to be there for him.
Yeah, but I don't believe you.
He needs you to be there for him. Jamel needs you right now. He needs you, okay? Do you honestly think,
Why do you think it's in homicide now? There's a reason why Detective Tomberg isn't the lead detective on this case anymore.
And waste his body.
That's the information that we're going to go through. There's information that you're not telling us. We know that's true. We want you to help us. We want to help you. We do. That's literally why we called you down here. We have to give notifications of death to people all the time. And it's the worst thing. It's the worst part of this job. This is not something that we look forward to.
Yeah, but y'all do that when y'all found the body.
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I think that's the CSI factor or the CSI effect. That's the effect that these little crime shows that they put on TV has on everyone. Everyone sees this Hollywood production and feels like that's the way it happens in real life. That is not even remotely close to
what else would explain that Jamel he's pretty much fallen off the face of the earth. He hasn't contacted you. He hasn't contacted Michaela. He hasn't contacted family in Ohio. He hasn't come home.
See that? You know what that is? That is a surveillance picture of Gerard Studemeier with a bat walking down the street going to attack your son. You're standing on the front porch of your house. Okay? That is Gerard Studemeier going to physically attack your son.
So how do I know? So how do I know what happened to me if I'm standing on my front porch? Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, let's go back. Let's back up just a step. Okay. Initially, you said Gerard wasn't there. Gerard was there. You know that, and I know that. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's work through this just a little bit at a time. Okay. Can we agree to do that?
We will be as straight with you as you are with us.
Told you yesterday, neither one of us are the kind of people that we're not going to jump on the table, kick, scream, fuss at you and all that. Okay. That's not how we do business. Okay. This is a very, very serious matter that we need to work through. And we're going to need your cooperation. You're going to need our cooperation. We're going to have to work together. Okay. But you also need to understand that there are very, 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 very serious consequences for providing false information, intentionally withholding information, or obstructing an investigation as it relates to murder. Okay. If the police stop you for a minor traffic violation and you give them false information, you're going to get there's potential for a very small consequence. Okay. But would you agree that murder is at the pinnacle of the crime tree? We're talking very serious stuff here, okay? Which also holds very serious penalties and consequences. We don't want to see that happen to you, okay? Help us work through this, okay? Why are you so protective over Gerard being there that night, okay? We agree that Gerard was there, okay? And we know that Gerard was upset. We agree on that. Okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And ultimately, he had a reason to be upset. I mean, in terms of what happened at the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to figure out what happened after that. He can be upset because someone damages his vehicle, but that doesn't give anyone a right to do anything past that other than call the police and report it like he's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Some things got out of hand. I don't think they set out to do great bodily harm to him. I don't. I think some things got out of hand.
Okay, but you have. I mean, but what got out of hand and what happened? What happened to Jamel?
Well, first off, there were 4 people, not 3,
Okay.
chasing after Jamel. They weren't walking down the street; they were chasing.
And you know the 4 people.
No, I don't know. I don't know they was running. I mean, I didn't see anybody running.
Who's this?
Me?
Who's that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know him.
Mhm.
Did you see him that night?
Yeah.
You saw him that night. Okay.
But you don't
He
know.
don't look. No, I don't know.
But you saw him that night.
You were going to say he doesn't look what was it? Before I
He just
interrupted
don't
you.
look- No, he just don't look like what I saw. But
Is his hair different now? Is that what you're saying? Okay, what's his hair look like now? Or what did his hair look like then?
it's like pulled back. I mean, it was pulled back. I don't really
So
know.
still braids?
I don't really know. I mean, I only saw him like for a second.
Is it still braided?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So here's a couple people that we've talked to, because guess what? I mean, this is no surprise to us, because guess who all these people talked to?
Hmm.
Detective Tomberg.
Okay.
Okay, because these are the people that said that they were there that night.
Okay.
Okay, so
Even that guy? That guy right there?
That guy has not been talked to Detective Tomberg.
Oh, okay.
but these 3 have.
Oh, who is he?
That's our job. We know who he is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so he spoke with Tomberg, Detective Tomberg,
Mhm.
and then
He said he was there,
he said he told me he was there.
Mhm.
So then when we asked you yesterday,
but you're going to lie for him.
we asked you yesterday if you talked to him, and you said, I don't know. And we asked you if you saw him that night, and you said, no, I didn't. I didn't see him that night. But I mean, this isn't groundbreaking stuff. This is him talking to the police the next day or 2 days later when the missing persons unit got involved.
Okay.
And then he provided Detective Tomberg with these two people's names, and then he called them, and then he spoke with them, and they all said that they were there.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is going to be the 4th person that was there. So I mean, none of this stuff is, it's. I mean, that's what we don't want you to get wrapped up in get wrapped up in a stupid lie to protect him when you should be a grieving mother. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Your job here is to be upset that someone may have hurt and killed your son, Jamel.
Yeah, but y'all don't know for sure if Jamel did.
Yes, we did.
We have.
Okay.
Jamel's not coming back.
What makes you believe that he's not dead?
Because that man helped raise Jamel. He wouldn't. I don't think he would hurt him like that. Not to kill nobody.
What has Gerard told you about what happened?
It's the same thing.
I mean, put yourself in our shoes. You have an altercation with Jamel at the ballpark, and that for 2 days in a row. They come to your house. How do they know to come to your house?
Because they know he lived there.
They knew he lived there. Okay.
How'd they know he was going to be there?
How did they know? He wasn't there.
Huh?
He wasn't there.
Okay. How did they know when he was going to be there?
They didn't. They didn't
So
know.
they were there. Were they there before he got there?
Yeah. He was there when he got there.
So why is there 4 people at your house at 10 o'clock at night?
They wasn't in my house at 10 o'clock at night. I was.
Why were they
upstairs in my
at your
office.
house?
I don't know. He said he was going to talk to Jamel. He said he wanted to talk to him and see what he could do to stop him from coming to the park.
With 4 people? I mean, you. I mean,
I can only tell you.
Sure, but we're just trying to put yourself in our shoes. I mean, you're an adult. I'm an adult. He's an adult. We can have adult conversations. Why? I mean, why is there? Obviously, there's the old saying that there's power in numbers.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know. Like I said, I was upstairs working, and Jamel, like I said, Jamel came in. I went to the top of the stairs. He started talking. Now, if they came in after him, then that's something different.
Came in your house?
Mm-hmm.
So you would have known if people came in your house?
Yeah, I would have known.
Did you? All right. Let's stop beating around the bush. Let's be adults here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's establish the first thing. Why are you lying for Gerard to begin with by saying he wasn't there? Let's get that out. Let's overcome that initial obstacle.
I don't know. I guess because Gerard got other kids he has to still raise.
Okay.
But so do you.
So do you. Okay. And you are.
He gotta help me raise him.
Sure.
Okay. What are you gonna do if both of you go to prison for a long time? Because both of you are lying. Because you're already lying during a murder investigation. You've already lied to us. We've proven you've lied. You've admitted you lied.
We want you to help us.
We need you to help.
This is your time to help us. You're not going to get many more of these conversations. So that's why I was trying to explain to you that you need to make a determination right now whether you're going to stick up for him or stick up for you. Because ultimately, I mean, it's going to affect you, but it's going to affect your other two kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And who do they depend on more? Gerard or you?
Him.
I mean, they live with you, right? They cook. Do you cook for them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you clean them for them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not saying he's not a good father, but ultimately, if they're living with you, you're their sole provider. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously, he's going to be their father no matter what happens. But if they're living in your house, you have control over them, and you have authority over them, and they're looking to you to be that person. Now, you said Ronnie's how old? 12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 12 years old. I mean, Gerard is 18.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost there. But 18 is a pivotal age. They still need guidance. I mean, look at Jamel. You said Jamel kind of fell off the path, right? He started getting into some fights.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that for Ronnie, would you?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you really need to dig deep inside you and help us come to a determination of what happened.
Let's bring him home. We need to bring Jamel home. That's the ultimate goal.
You said he's not coming home.
Huh?
You said he was.
He's not coming home alive, but he still deserves a homecoming. Doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He'll never change that he's your son, no matter what happens. I mean, you and Gerard aren't even married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you officially divorced?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so although he may be a problem child, but he's still your child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, obviously you and
I don't have a problem dealing with him. I can deal with him.
Sure.
I can deal with him. I've been
Sure.
dealing with him for 23 years.
Absolutely.
So that's not an issue.
But here's the thing.
He's a problem, but I can deal with it.
But here's the thing. Why are you letting Gerard get in the way of what's going to happen to your life? Someone who you guys have already split, already divorced, and someone who we believe
Is responsible.
is responsible for his death.
Hmm.
This is big news.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to help us, but we can't do that without your help. And in order for you to do that, you need to be as truthful with us as much as possible. I know you already haven't already, but like Detective Holby said, this is a big deal. There's no other higher crime than murder. That's it. I mean, that's the top of the food chain. Killing somebody is the ultimate crime. Now, things happen. We don't know what happened. That's what we're trying to figure out. But all we do know is happened is that Jamel was last seen running away from 4 people. And then those 4 people came back, and Jamel's not there. You live in a small neighborhood that's closed off to a bunch of trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he could have ran across across into a major interstate or something like that and hooked a rod on them. It's off the beaten path. And you can get to interstates pretty quickly, but it's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know what I mean? That like, it doesn't add up. Something happened to Jamel that night.
I already told you there's video surveillance all over the entire neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
If Jamel ran off, once he ran behind that house, he never came back. Never came back. And you know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we got more than this in the video. The video shows more stuff, but I mean, look at that.
The video is much more clear than the picture that prints.
That is a
Promise you
metal
that.
baseball bat. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of Gerard's baseball organization? Or better yet, before you answer that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what I think the name of his baseball organization is,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to tell me if I'm correct. Is it LCS? Is that the Athletic Association?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know how I know that? Because the video is so good that I can read it on his shirt. Now, it doesn't print very well because this is not photo paper, okay? There's no question in our mind that that is Gerard Studemeyer, your ex-husband, and Jamel's ex-stepfather, okay?
So who is the other guy?
It's those 4 people. They're in the video. We see Jamel.
Stacey, help us bring Jamel home, please. Okay?
You can't. You're fighting. You're fighting it right now. I can see it in your eyes.
You're his mom. You
How
owe
do I
him.
know how?
Okay?
So when he left
Let's be a
that
mom.
street, so if you see surveillance, then you see that he left
Mhm.
when they left that street
Mhm.
and went wherever he went at. You said he went in the backyard
He went behind the house
or behind somebody, not my house,
because he was chased.
but not my house.
Correct.
Sure.
Okay, so when he did that, then how can I bring him? I mean, how can I know where he went at?
I find it, I'll tell you what I find right now is that I am puzzled by the fact that you are able to smile and think about this as it's somewhat entertaining to you,
No,
rather than
you-
looking
you're
at
saying that I
this
can-
in terms of
no, it's not entertaining.
a
at
grave
all.
loss of your son. Okay,
Yes.
something tragic happened that night. And
But you're
And I
saying that I
think-
can help you, that I know
I
what
do.
happened.
absolutely,
We do think you can.
I do think you can.
And that's
okay?
what,
Because out of all the 3 people in this room,
Mhm.
who is the closest person to Gerard Studemeyer?
me,
Okay. Gerard Studemeyer shares intimate details of his daily life with you.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
You have 2 kids in common.
Mhm. You have a
2
bond.
kids in common with him.
You guys have a bond, forever bond with the children. Okay? He's going to share intimate details with you about what happens. Okay? In addition to that, you provided him with a means to get out of the area that night. Okay? So essentially, you helped him get away with what he did. Gerard didn't leave with those other boys, did he?
No,
How did he leave?
the BMW.
Okay.
Why do you think it's sitting at the sheriff's office?
Because they think that somebody, Jamel was in there.
Because it's part of the crime.
Okay, but was Jamel in the car?
No. But
So I'm not understanding. So wait, so you're saying, okay, I'm not
How did
understanding.
Gerard come in possession of the BMW?
He told me to get him the keys,
Okay.
so I gave him the keys.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out why he said get him the keys to the car.
he needed a car. I don't
No,
know
he
why
didn't
he needed
need
a
it.
car.
He didn't need a
Because they
car
all came in
because-
one car. But he
But he
asked
didn't need a
you. But he
car.
asked you for that car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why would he ask you for a car?
He didn't need a car because he could have left with whoever he was with. So, I'm lost as to what you're trying to get at. He asked me for the keys to the car. I gave him the keys to the car. So was Jamel in the car? Is that what you're saying?
Jamel was not in the car.
Okay.
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 But he took the car for a specific reason.
What reason?
Well, he put something in the car.
Remember, there's cameras everywhere.
He put that bat in that car.
Oh, the bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I mean, that he could have put that in any car. He could have put that in.
He could have.
Stacey, you're
So you saying that?
teasing
So
me.
you saying that something was on the bat?
Remember what we said earlier about I'm not going to spoon feed you and give you
No,
every little thing we got.
Look, listen.
The bat doesn't.
I'm listening to you.
The bat
I am
doesn't
listening.
matter.
Trust me.
We're trying to explain to you that you got to realize that Gerard is involved in this. Someone was last seen being chased by somebody with a baseball bat.
Right.
Those 4 guys come back without the other guy they're chasing.
Okay. Yeah.
And that bat is then placed in the car. And then they leave. Put yourself in our shoes. What does that look like to you? What is honestly just
That he did something with the bat?
to who?
I'm saying to Jamel.
Yes.
But
Yes.
where?
Gerard and his friends beat your son to death
With a baseball bat.
with a bat. I don't think they meant to do it.
Beat him to death with a bat. Okay, but where did they do that at?
Huh?
Where?
Behind the houses. Okay.
Okay, so this is my question about that. So if they beat him to death with a baseball bat,
Mhm.
then was there blood? Was there clothing? Was there anything that was back there?
There's other evidence that tells us that his body was moved from there.
Okay. So how was his body moved from there? Was put in the car?
Until you start coming around with some, I'm not spoon feeding you and giving you every piece of evidence. Okay?
Because
I'm not
you're
trying to be ugly, but I'm telling you right now that we have evidence. Have I not shown you already evidence that we've got in this case?
I mean, but that's just the surveillance of people in the streets. That you don't have nothing that says somebody beat this young man with a bat.
We have witness statements.
There's witnesses.
Witnesses that saw him beat somebody with a bat.
Okay.
I mean,
Can a witness only be used for something they see? Can you hear something and be a witness?
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Okay, but if you heard him screaming, I could have heard him screaming if I was standing on my front porch.
Mhm.
But I didn't hear anybody.
Because you also could have told us the truth that the Gerard was there and you chose not to do that. So this is where we're running into the issue here. Okay. You're in denial right now. You're in denial that
He could be capable of doing this.
that's understandable. Okay. Because you're worried about losing somebody that's going to be able to help you care for your children. So like I told you before, what happened that night?
Huh?
What is that?
I don't know.
There's nothing you can do that's going to take back the events of that night. There's nothing at all, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, something very tragic and very bad happened. And
So if he put the
listen to me. You can try to figure this out all you want, or you can just tell us what happened.
because I don't know. I promise you I don't know. I was not okay. So he asked me for the keys to the car. I didn't think anything of that. Because like I said, I'm not thinking anything because I'm saying to myself, I'm thinking to get this car while police here before Jamel come back. So obviously I'm thinking that Jamel coming back. So if he put it's a lot of bats up there at the park. So if he put the car in the bat, the bat in the car. Okay, whatever. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. Cause
Let me see the text, the last text that he sent you again.
Who?
Jamel. Did your, let me see this first. Sorry. So he's sending this one, you're sending that one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What is that one in reference to?
I guess, like I said, like I told you before, he think that he running my house. So he think that I'm listening to whatever he's saying for me to do. Or he thinks he's telling me to do stuff, I guess.
Okay. Did Gerard text you that night?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Do you have those?
Yeah. I have a lot of texts though, so it'll take a moment to go do it.
Do you remember what you guys talked about when he texted you that night?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know what he texted about.
Was it about Jamel?
I'm about to look and see.
Okay. When's the last time you had a conversation with Gerard about this present situation?
I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Okay. When's the last time? Did you talk about it today?
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys talk about today?
No,
About this situation? Huh?
No, I told him that I had an appointment to come down.
Okay. And what was his response to that?
And he just wanted to tell me something, give me something to think about.
Okay. So what did he instruct you to do when you came down here? What did he tell you to say? Did he give you a script to come down here and tell you to say anything?
No, he never told me. He never told me. He just said, I want to give you something to think about, but he just never told me.
And what
No,
was he trying to tell you to think? What did he want you to think about?
He said he wanted to tell me, give me something to think about, but he never told me exactly what he wanted me to think about. But no, he didn't give me any script or anything like that.
Okay.
I just told him that I had an appointment to come down here at 5:30.
Okay. At any point, has he ever asked you to tell us something to help protect him, as if he was not there or not involved in this?
No, he never told me to tell y'all that he wasn't there.
Okay, so you did that so you came in here and intentionally lied to us on your own accord.
I didn't
right?
intentionally lie to you all.
What would you call it?
I wanted to say that he was there, that I but I just.
But how many times were you given an
I just
opportunity to
feel-
say that, but you didn't? Does that, you know what I mean? Put yourself in our shoes. Man, I wanted to win the lottery, but I have yet to do that. I truly don't think you understand how serious this situation is.
Do you realize you can go to prison for lying?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you all the truth now. What else you want to know?
We want to know what happened
We just want you to help us. That's all we want
to
you to do.
Jamel.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
here.
And you are here, but you're not. We are giving you our commitment to do the very best we can to bring Jamel home. We're not getting your commitment in return because there's more information that you know that you're not sharing with us.
Okay, well,
And we're able to prove that.
ask me.
Okay. Okay, let's start with the conversation
Do you have-
between you and Gerard
Do
on
you have
that
those
day.
messages pulled up?
Okay, let's start with this.
Okay,
We executed a search warrant,
okay,
okay, on your messages and Gerard's messages.
okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
You can put your phone down for a second. That way you can have we can have each other's undivided attention.
Well, he want me to pull up the messages.
No, I've got them.
Yeah.
I have the messages right here.
Okay.
You can just wait
So
for
if you just put it out there for me. Okay.
There's nothing recording on this or anything, right? Can I just verify that? Okay, that's all.
I want you to take a look at these, okay? And I want you to help explain some of those messages that are on there.
Okay. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to silence it? Or can I just turn it off right now? We'll turn it back on.
Okay.
Is there anything on there that you think could be problematic for you? Yeah, there is.
When I said kick his behind.
You damn right. You set your own son up to get his ass whipped and something bad happened. Okay. Now, what does that make you? That makes you part of it. Stacey, you got two options right now. Okay. One is to try to get out in front of this thing. I want you to picture yourself right now. You know what a train trestle is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Okay. What's the only means of escape on a train trestle?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is a train trestle? Essentially, it's a bridge, right? Train tracks over that's extending over something, whether it be a body of water, a deep gap, mountain, whatever it may be, right? Okay. So you got one or two options, right? You can move.
Just because I said the kick is behind, that don't mean that's just the kick is behind. That's first of all, Gerard is was a father figure to him. He
I agree.
kick his behind.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
So for me to say that if he's sitting here around here, he disrespecting me, he need his behind kicked.
Okay.
He need his behind whipped. But not
We don't disagree with that.
Back to the point that
We don't disagree with
so
that.
don't sit here trying to make me feel like
Things got out of hand, Stacey.
but you're trying to sit here making me seem like I caused this whatever to happen.
You participated by letting them know what time he was coming home, by calling him. You facilitated. You helped facilitate
No,
that.
I didn't help facilitate because when I called him, he didn't answer.
Okay, but you're feeding Gerard that information. You're feeding Gerard information of what time he's going to be there.
Okay.
Okay.
From what I
So you're
understand
facilitating
now,
that.
from what I understand now, that I need to get me an attorney. Basically, you telling me that I need to get me an attorney.
I'm not telling you that. That is a personal decision that you need to make.
That's what I plan on
Okay.
doing.
All right, that's fine. So you can sit here. We're receiving your phone as evidence. And we'll move on from here. Okay.
I mean, you sitting here trying to make me
We're
feel
not.
like
No, we're not. Can you put your other stuff up here for me for just a minute, please?
Just gotta make sure you have
I
nothing.
just want to make sure nothing's up. Okay.
No weapons or nothing.
So what you finna arrest me?
Yeah.
I don't want to be arrested.
I'm sorry.
We can't talk to you if you request an attorney.
Okay, I don't want an attorney.
If you decide otherwise, then you can knock on the door and you can let us know, okay?
I did. I don't want to get arrested.
That's, I can't have that I can't use that as a means
But I don't
of
want to get arrested.
persuasion for you to.
No, you're not persuading.
We need to understand, I need you to understand that you have to talk freely and voluntarily. There is nothing I can do, and I'm not trying to persuade you to talk to me,
Yes,
okay?
you are. You
No, I'm
trying to
not.
scare me.
No, we're
No,
not.
we're not. This is not a game.
You are, because you're basically making me feel like
Okay, let me tell you this, okay? We're gonna step out for a couple minutes. I want you to collect your thoughts.
I done collected them.
Just collect them.
I
We'll
done
come back.
collected them.
We'll come back and we'll
No, I have
readdress.
collected them.
Would you like a bottle of water or something to drink?
Nope.
We will come back and
Give us
collect.
just a minute. I'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Just give us a knock when you're ready.
I said that I'm ready.
Just give us a minute. Well, just give us a couple minutes, think it over. We'll come back and talk to you.
Okay, so I'm not getting my stuff back.
I just left it out there, so it's less of a distraction for all of us. Okay, you want to see where it is? I'm more than happy to show you where it is.
It's literally sit on a chair.
There's a chair sitting right here. There it is, okay? Okay, so in order to protect you and preserve your rights and protect us, we need to go back through this form. And I'm gonna tell you why, okay? Because when we finished up here, you told us that you wanted to talk to your lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, but prior to us leaving, you said you had changed your mind. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could just do me one favor. You see all this gray hair I got? My hearing is not real good. Okay, so you could just speak up just a little bit for me. Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to go back through this, but before we go through this, I want to make sure that you have made a conscious decision on your own without any type of coercion, threat, duress, anything like that, that you are willing to freely and voluntarily talk to us or continue talks with us without a lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. So just to make, I want to be sure, like I said, this is for your protection and ours. Okay. I want to make sure you're not doing this because we have promised you anything, correct?
Correct.
Are you doing this because we have threatened you?
No.
Okay. Are you doing this because you want to do this freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. This is a decision that you have made on your own.
Yes.
Okay. Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that could affect your decision-making or your judgment?
No.
Okay. Are you prescribed medication or advised by a physician to take such medication or anything else that could potentially have an effect on your decision-making?
No.
Okay. So there's nothing that you should be taking or a doctor has told you to take that you're just not taking for whatever reason, whether it be a personal reason, whether you don't have access to it or anything of that nature. Okay, so we're going to go back through this again, and then we'll continue with where we left off. Does that sound okay? Okay. So for purposes of the form, the top line says the place where we are. We abbreviate that PMB. That stands for Police Memorial Building. Okay. Today's date is May the 23rd. 2018. The present time is 7:27. We use military time. That is 1927. Would you please do me a favor and read this sentence out loud?
You have the following rights under the United States Constitution.
Okay. You do not have to make a statement or say anything. Do you understand that? Just a verbal acknowledgement, a yes or no, please.
Yes.
Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in court. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to talk with a lawyer for advice before you make a statement or before any questions are asked of you, and to have the lawyer with you during any questioning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you. It's hard for me to read sideways, I'm sorry. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you do answer questions, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time and consult with a lawyer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Same form we did last time. If you would just put your signature on here, signature is not any type of admission of guilt. It's acknowledging that we have reviewed this form and that you understand it and you are willing and agree to speak to us without an attorney being here.
Okay, but I have one question.
Okay.
Am I under arrest?
Yes.
So I'm under arrest for what?
Right now, it's accessory after the fact of murder.
But how do you,
Okay.
We can go through this and get.
But we can work through this. Okay. But we're getting back to we need to get back to, before we get to details again, I'm not to the point where I can discuss details. Okay. But there are things that.
I'm under arrest, so there's no reason for me to sign anything, right?
That's entirely up to you because there are still things that you can do to improve your situation.
Well, you basically.
Remember the ultimate goal here. Okay. But
We can't talk to you until you tell us it's okay to.
This is our ultimate goal. Bringing your baby home. Okay? Let's start. What is on this piece of paper here? Nothing? Okay. This is representative of a blank canvas. Okay? Blank piece of canvas. We're getting ready to create a piece of artwork here. We're going to get ready to paint a picture. Okay? A picture that you're going to be able to help fill in and paint a clear picture of what happened on the evening of March the 6th, 2018. Okay? But before we do that, we're going to go through a couple things that we went through previously. Okay? Because we don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste any more of your time going through any of those things because it took us a while to get through some of those. Okay? And so some specific things I'm going to go on is, can we agree that you came in here and you told us lies about what happened that night? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you lie to us?
Like I said, because Jamel needed to raise his kids.
Okay. What did you lie to us about?
About him not being
Okay. What else did you lie to us about?
about him not being there.
What else though?
That's it.
How about what happened while he was there? Because you
What
can't
you
sit
mean?
here and tell me that Gerard has never told you what happened when they chased Jamel behind that house. You cannot sit
The
here
only
and tell
thing
me
he
that.
said, I mean, this is what he said. He said that they chased him around the house. I mean, he even came back to the house, and Michaela said the same thing. She said, he said, he got away. So when all he said to me is that they went down the street. We ran behind the house, and they chased him, but they couldn't catch him. That's it.
Were you out there when Jamel came back down the street taunting them and
No.
they chased him a second time?
I don't think so, because when I saw it, and if you have it on surveillance, that's fine. But when I saw it, it was going down the street.
Mhm.
I never seen him come back down the street.
Okay.
I never seen him come back down the street.
Oh.
And it was on the opposite side of the street when they went down the street, and that was it.
Were you outside for any of this?
Yeah, I was, because I stood outside, like I told you, and the porch light was on, I believe, and that's when he said, "You gonna die tonight?" Then he was telling the people they was gonna die tonight or whatever, and then he saw me standing outside, and he was like, "I'm gonna die tonight too." And that was it. Then they went down, and like I said, I was back and forth in the house, and that was it. So the only thing he told me is they got away. He got away.
Well, what has he told you since then?
That's it. The same thing. I mean,
Stacey, this is important, okay? This is very important.
and I'm
you're not-
telling the truth.
You're not telling us everything.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I am.
You're not.
The only thing he is, like I said, he's told me.
Remember,
He's told me.
this is our goal.
Yeah,
Bring him home. Okay.
he has told me that he got away.
He didn't get away.
Got away.
He didn't get away.
Okay, but that's you're asking me what he's told me as far as this is concerned,
Mhm.
and he told me they went down the street.
Yes, ma'am.
They went behind the house, and he got away. That's it.
Do you believe that?
I believe it. Yeah.
In your heart. In your heart
In
right
my
now.
heart.
Do you believe
In my
that's what
heart.
happened?
In my heart, I believe he got away because Jamel is not the type of person that's gonna get caught up into no tangle with nobody. Not with multiple people.
Stacey, there's 4 of them.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. He not the type of person that's gonna get tangled up with 4 people. Well,
Let me ask you that. Is that fair? Is that a fair fight? If I have a difference or a problem with someone,
no.
is it fair for me to bring 3 of my buddies to come handle my problem?
No.
So what does that look like? If I bring 3 of my, if you and I have a problem, right?
Mhm.
And you and I I am not capable of resolving the problem by myself. So I recruit 3 of my friends and I bring them with me.
Mhm.
What does that look like to you? What would your perception of that be?
Are you scared of it?
Like I'm scared of the person that I'm there to confront? What else does it show?
I mean, to me, it just shows that you're scared of the person that you're trying to confront.
But what is that representative of? When I bring that many people there, what is your perception of that? What do you think he's trying to achieve by doing that?
Well, this is what he told me, that he came to talk to him. That's what he told me. He wanted to talk to him and figure out why he keep coming to the park. But I mean, I guess it's so you can beat him up. You know, bring multiple people.
Or do what?
Harm.
Okay, or do what? I don't want to put words in your mouth. I want you to use your own words, okay? But if I were to come at you with a crew of people, how would you feel?
If you came here with a crew of people, I would feel, I mean, I would wonder why. I would want to know why you came with a crew of people.
Would you be concerned for your personal safety?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't you think Jamel at some point was concerned for his personal safety? When 4 grown men, one of which is his stepfather, who is armed with a baseball bat, are running wildly through a neighborhood chasing him.
Because they wasn't running. What they was doing is they was on the sidewalk over there.
Mm-hmm.
Jamel was face backwards talking a lot of.
I don't disagree with that.
And then the guys was just walking. I didn't see nobody running. I just saw him walking down the sidewalk. He was walking, but he was backing up. And then he was just talking.
Okay. Well, the surveillance video clearly shows them running. Like I told you, there's video all over the place. Okay.
Well, during the time that they was running, I couldn't have been out there because, like I said, when I saw them, they was walking down the sidewalk and Jamel was turned around, backing up.
What other vehicles did Gerard have at this time when this happened?
That's it. Just the Lincoln.
Okay.
And the Maserati.
Just the Lincoln and the Maserati.
Mm-hmm.
What vehicles does Gerard presently have?
A truck and a Maserati.
Okay. So he no longer has the Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the Lincoln?
Well, because
Remember what we said earlier.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you that car. First of all, that car was raggedy. It's in the shop every week or every 2 weeks.
Remember what we said earlier. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the shop every week or every 2 weeks.
There's records of that in the shop?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
What shop?
No. He don't have it now.
No. I know. What shop did he use to have work done on it?
He used to take it to the shop on Park Street, Park in Blandon.
Okay. All right. So what happened to the car? I want to hear what happened to it.
He said he needed a truck for the park and more room and all of that. So he said he was going to scrap it or whatever. Take it to one of those people, like sell it to the junkyard.
Okay.
That's it.
That's what he told you?
Mm-hmm.
So did he tell you what scrapyard he took it to?
No, I didn't ask because I knew that it needed to go to one. I mean, I didn't ask because I know he needed a truck. He kept talking about, he'd been talking about getting a truck because he got the park and all of that. Mm-hmm. And then I guess when the window got busted out, I guess he decided he wasn't going to get it fixed no more. Because I think he just got it out of the shop.
When is the last time